best we could expect. And the worst. The paediatrician was German. Viennese, not sure.
Well, madam, this baby of yours has now been thoroughly tested and we need the badly, so it's better you take her home. I think I can promise you she won't be any trouble. Keep her well sedated and you hardly know she's there.
Doctor?
Yeah.
Can't you tell me the results?
Results?
Of the tests?
Which ones? Are so many. Electroencephalographs, three-dimensional x-rays, blood, urine and stools analysis, a business with the needles and the fontanelle.
Oh, is that why her hair's been shaved off?
Well, of course.
But she'd only just begun to grow it. And did the needle make that scar on her head?
Scar?
There.
Ah, no, this is a biopsy, so we can take a sample of her brain tissue.
Well, that's a relief. Thought for a second you'd bored a hole in her skull to let the devil out.
Sounds good. Try this? It's a devil baby hole thing? Ah, my colleague says we don't do that anymore.
No.
It's a pity. Well, you must excuse me.
Doctor.
God in Himmel, lady.
Look, what can she do?
She can do nothing at all.
Will she? Ever?
You want me to tell you what your daughter was like? Do you know what I mean when I say your daughter was a vegetable?
Yes, you mean your daughter was a vegetable?
No, still is, always will be. I have trouble with these English verbs.
But when people say to me, what kind of cripple is your child, should I say she's a vegetable?
You've won a word for her. You can say she's a spastic with a damaged cerebral cortex, multiplegic, epileptic, but with no organic malformation of the brain.
That's a long word.
Which is why I prefer vegetable.
Look. Why? What if her brain's physically sound, why doesn't it work?
Okay, come on, so forth. Imagine a switchboard, a telephone switchboard, yeah?
I worked as a switchboard operator once.
Oh, das ist wunderbar. Okay, so imagine you're there now, facing the switchboard so.
So?
Some lines tied up, some waiting to be used.
Yes.
Suddenly, bzz, bzz, bzz.
Incoming call.
Exactly. You plug in.
Universal shafting.
What?
It's the name of the company that I work for.
You've never put it in before.
I know, I thought I would this time.
Universal shafting. Story of your life.
God, you never miss a chance, do you?
You line them up, baby, I'll knock them off. I'm from Vienna. Anyways, this phone call is still waiting there, and then another one comes in. Remember the phone? Do you want to know about your baby? I'm the doctor, man. So a second call comes in, and they don't want to talk to the first person, but you panic a little, so you plug the second call into with the first one and leave them talking to each other. And then you take an extension, and say one's a Huawei station, you plug them in the Quicket results, and then they all start buzzing and flashing, as though...
What country are we in now?
Well, of course, we have left Vienna. As a refugee, I travel Europe, eventually ending up in Basingstoke. I live with some Welsh people. It's very confusing.
Please don't encourage him. Believe me, it can go on for hours.
Right, so it's... There was an Australian there as well.
I like the Welsh one.
Well, he was there. They were the parents. Anyway, so I am from Vienna, and from Wien. Ich komme nach Wien.
Look, there's the script. A glittering career and 2 Emmys. I have a small flat in Tufnell Park and this play.
She bangs on about the Emmys. I don't know.
Come on.
I was nominated for 3. Anyway, we have been at switchboards, the calls are coming in, and now there's lots of calls all over the place, all buzzing and flashing. It is way too much for you. You flip your lid, and you pull out all the lines. Pling, plong, pling, plong, pling, plong. Kaput! Now there is your epileptic fit, your grand, or your pretty mal, depending on the stress, the number of calls. All right?
But doctor, I'm sorry, doctor.
Donner und Blitzen, lady. I am a way busy man.
I know you must be very busy.
Yours is not the only crackpot in the country.
I know.
There is one pot every 8 hours, you know.
No, I didn't. Is that true?
Yeah. Well, not as bad as this one, of course, but you know.
Look, isn't there anything at all that we can do?
Natürlich, you must wash her, dry her, feed her, keep her warm, just like any other mother.
But for how long?
Who can say midday vegetable? Anything can happen. You know that, pneumonia, diphtheria, whooping cough, stuff like that. And then there's grünen Fliegen,
Which is?
Green fly. Midday vegetable, very likely.
Oh, actually, that's terrible. It's terrible.
It's not so bad for the green fly. Anyway, what happened then? We brought her home.
Brought her home, and the hospital just passed the can back to our local GP.
Oh, God, not me.
He had to supply phenobarbital and, you know, keep us happy. He used to come once a week to explain the fits, in layman's terms.
You know when the back end of your car drops off?
But the time came when I asked him whose fault it was.
That's when he suggested a vicar might call.
Yes, a nice vicar. Sensitive. He was so concerned and upset at the sight of Jo. I mean, the fits were unusually bad that day, so we left her in her cot and we had our chat in another room. Here we are. Do take a pew. Sorry.
She's a beautiful child.
I know, isn't she?
It is tragic. Tell me, when you first knew there was nothing to be done, how did you feel?
Well, you find out gradually, you see. It's not all at once. There is a time when you finally accept it. And that's nasty. You think, why me? You know, I don't know about the other mothers. I kept saying, why me? You know, why us? All day long. And then you get tired of that, and you say, well, why not me?
Indeed, you learn humility. You recognize that we are surely in a vale of tears and that you are no exception.
No, I recognize that I was worse. I'd been promiscuous, you see, all kinds of men. And it seemed to me that I was responsible for Jo. I was being punished.
No.